You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? What is going down? It is your boy, Studio McGyver, and you are listening to Studio McGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. I hope everybody listening is staying inside, trying to be safe, and spend time watching anime and playing video games, guys. If you're into anime, if you're into video games, if you're into nerd culture, you've come to the right place. We talk about all of that here. And today I have a very, very special guest. I guess the coronavirus, is keeping everybody in. So I figured I'd have a little fun at the beginning of the show. And I have my mini me who is sitting on my lap as we speak. He just turned 7 years old and he is my son and his name is Grayson. And, we've been having a lot of fun, man, over the last couple of weeks. So he wanted to be on the show for a minute. So I thought I'd introduce him. And man, I'll let him talk to you guys for a quick second. So why don't you go say hi to everybody listening, Grayson? Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, that's kind of loud, but man. I thought we'd talk a little bit about what we've done in the past couple of weeks, man. For instance, let me give you guys an example of what we've been doing literally today. Today, we've been playing Luigi's Mansion 3. Yes, I finally got the game, guys. And we've been having a blast playing it. And yeah, he's pretty good, man. So who are you playing as when we play this game?
Luigi.
Luigi, yes. To be honest with you guys, I thought he was going to want to be Luigi and I was going to be Luigi. But he had to be Luigi because he's funner to play with. I will say that. He can do a lot of different things. He can, go through walls and crazy stuff like that. So yeah, we've been having a blast playing that. He also plays a lot, and I do mean a lot, of tablet games. What's some of your favorite games, man?
Wrestling Revolution.
Wrestling Revolution, and that game is actually pretty awesome, man. I saw him playing it the other day, and I really, really wanted them to make something for the Switch or something that has a control with it, though. I'm not really good at tablet games as far as where you have to touch the tablet to do certain things. If it's too much, then I kind of get finicky with it. But he's pretty good at the game, man. He's won some matches. I saw him, playing the other night. So that's one of his favorite games. What else do you like to play?
The other game that I like to play is Slap Kings.
Slap Kings. But that's actually a funny and fun game where you basically have a slapping contest. You basically the other person will go, and if you get the meter as close to the green as you can, the slap will be, harder and would be more devastating, and it'll look a lot crazier too. So, those are just a couple of games that we've been playing, or he's been playing, and like I said, been trying to put in some work on the Switch. He's been playing Xbox, the Surge 2, just a lot of different things. What other games on Xbox have you been playing?
Descenders.
Descenders?
Mm-hmm. Descenders is a game that I saw that I saw on YouTube that one of my favorite YouTubers was playing.
Well, there you go, guys. That's one of the games. He's played some other games too, but those are a couple of the games he's been playing. And to be honest with you guys, I can't wait to get back into that Luigi's Mansion 3 because it's really fun, man. And I just got it the other day. Luckily, it was at Walmart, made that happen. And yeah, it was something we both could play. And I cannot wait to jump back into it, man. We got maybe 4 buttons so far for the elevator. And yeah, we're going to try to beat this game in the next few days, man. Maybe the next week or so. Having a lot of fun. But I just thought I'd introduce you to my son, man, because he's always here. He's always around the man cave. And he's up. And as of right now, man, it's like 3:30 in the morning. We didn't go to bed till like 7 in the morning the other night. So this coronavirus thing has got our sleeping patterns jacked, especially his. So we just been staying up, doing our thing, man. I want you to say goodbye to all the listeners.
Goodbye.
All right. I want to thank my son Grayson, for joining me on this podcast, man. He wanted to say hi real quick. Now he's leaving. He's going back into the room, and I'm going to continue where I left off. But yeah, man, I thought I'd put him on here. He's been asking, you know what I mean? He's got major aspirations of being a huge YouTuber. And, you know, I have faith that he probably will end up doing that. He loves video games. And yeah, man, it's a joy. One of the cool things about being stuck in the house is the fact that I get to spend more time with him. And, you know, we've been kicking it like karate. Anyway, moving on. Man, I got a lot of shit to talk about, guys. Now that he's out of the room, I can kind of get a little dirty. Kind of get a little bit more loose with you guys, but there's a lot of shit going on, and I mean a lot going on right now in the world of gaming and anime, if you want to call it that. I got a major announcement, something I've been bitching and moaning about for a fucking while now, and it's finally come to fruition. I finally got a release date on. I'm going to talk about that. Also, guys, there's a fucking game out, well, slated to be out really, really soon, and it's man, it's really looking awesome. I seen the gameplay the other day, and I had to share it with you guys. The game goes by the name of Mortal Shell. I'll get more into that. Also, man, Last of Us 2 news, guys. Sad fucking news. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you probably already know, but if not, I'll definitely get into that. And Final Fantasy VII, what's going on with that? The game is literally days away from being released, but I got some surprises when it comes to that game as well. It's a lot of shit going on, man. This coronavirus shit has done a fucking doozy on the gaming world. And I can't wait to touch bases on a lot of some of this stuff. But anyway, also, I want to talk a little bit about CD Projekt Red. There's also some news going on about these guys here. Good news, actually, if you are looking forward to playing Cyberpunk 2077 and then also Life Alyx. That's a fucking hit. I mean, Life Alyx, is a fucking hit. It's a VR game. And, you know, when I first heard about the game going to VR only, I was a little salty because I kind of wanted to experience a Half-Life game on a console with a controller in my hand. But I guess they knew what they were doing. They took their sweet time with this one, and it's a fucking hit. It's supposedly the best VR game like that has ever came out. If you listen to the critics, and it's doing a lot of things, man. It actually got me curious. I want to fucking play this goddamn game. But I thought I'd share that with you guys. Also, PlayStation 5 news for everybody wondering about the coronavirus and how it's going to affect the release of the PlayStation 5. I'm one of those guys. I'm definitely going to talk about that. And Animal Crossing, breaking motherfucking records out here in these digital streets. Going to talk a little bit about that. Matter of fact, let's start with that. Man, I'm not an Animal Crossing guy, okay? I know about the game. I know about the franchise. I know people are goo and gaga for this motherfucking game. And, you know, hey, if you like it, I fucking love it. And by what I'm seeing right now, man, I might have to pick this shit up. This shit has got me curious now because it's the #1 selling motherfucking game on the Switch right now, ever in history, more than Pokemon, more than all this shit. And that has to raise an eyebrow if you're a gamer, if you're wondering, you know, what can I play out there on the Nintendo Switch? What's available to me right now? What can I play to kill some time and really lose myself and fall in that rabbit hole? And this game seems to be doing that fucking trick because, man, it's selling like hotcakes, guys. You can't find it anywhere. And that's always a good thing, especially if you're Nintendo. This game is breaking all these fucking records. I think it's like 1.3 million right now, as of right now. And that's crazy. The game just came out. So be looking for that to break more records and do more things. And if I can get my hands on one eventually, I think I'll give this one a go. I'm really curious about it. And like I said, a lot of people sleep on the Nintendo Switch. I know when they first came out, you know, I slept on them. Well, I can't even say I slept on them. They didn't have anything going for them at first. I say that first 9 months or so, they were kind of like dead to me. And because they weren't doing anything, much of anything, they were going off of the name, I felt, in my opinion. And it stopped there. You know what I mean? So after that, maybe the 10th month, 11th month, things start to trickle in a little bit. And that's when the fucking ball started to roll. And then it pretty much has not stopped since. So every time I turn around, man, I swear to God, there's a new fucking game being released. There's a new game being announced to release on the Switch. There's all kinds of shit happening with the Switch. They're making deals with Microsoft and they got all this shit going on under the table. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Now, if you're a PlayStation guy like myself, you know, that's a perfect fucking tandem. That's like that Batman and Robin in your fucking man cave and your fucking on your fucking entertainment stand. You know what I mean? You got Sony for all their exclusives, and you already know Nintendo is known out here in these digital streets for their exclusives as well. Mario, all these fucking games, man. Luigi's Mansion. I fucking love Luigi, and this game is the shit. I'm telling you guys, it's fun as hell. Still early on in the game, cannot wait. And the cool thing is you can play online. There's all kind of different modes on there, and you can play fucking co-op, and that's really the most fun with me because my son, we're enjoying ourselves on that game. It's motherfucking awesome. Anyway, enough of the Nintendo I guess, Animal Crossing news, guys. Congratulations. That's all I'll say. Congratulations to this game. I remember before it came out, lots of people were really tripping over this game. They could not wait to play this game, and now it's here. So enjoy. You're in the house. You know, you have nowhere to go. I mean, what else can you do? You know, you're in the house. You can't do a goddamn thing. Might as well fucking game. Everybody's doing it. All over the world. NBA players having fucking tournaments on ESPN, you know, 2K tournaments and shit. I mean, it's crazy out here because what else is there to do? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, guys. It's not. You get a chance to bond a little bit more with your loved ones or whatever. You know, I had to spend some time, you know, with the significant other because I've been spending too much time playing Neo 2. And even though we're all in the house together and shit, sometimes I get caught up in my zone and I'm with my friends online and, you know, we're in our zone and we're all doing it. Everybody's doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So all of our girlfriends, everybody, they're salty because we are not spending time with them, even though we're in the house all together, quarantined in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in the man cave. Like, I'm straight up in the man cave. She's in the motherfucking room watching, you know, girl shows and shit, reality TV shows and stuff like that. And yeah, man. So I had to take some time away from the game, put the controller down and go back in there and, you know, do some Netflix and chill type shit. And I've been watching on Netflix right now. We've been watching with Altered Carbon, which is a dope ass show, a dope series. Two seasons out right now. I already seen season 1, but I decided to go back and watch season 1 because it's been so long. So I wanted to catch up before I started season 2. And that's what we've been doing. Almost got season 1 finished. We'll jump to season 2 next, and then Ozark will be the next one on the menu. As you know, both of us watching it because Ozark is an awesome show too, guys. Definitely check that one out. Highly recommend it. But you know, I'm going to try to keep those at a minimum because every time I try to, you know, watch a show with, you know, significant other, things happen and you don't necessarily get to watch everything. You know, it falls apart sometimes because our schedules are so different. You know what I mean? And it's harder to catch these shows. So if I'm watching something by myself, I know that, okay, I can catch a show here at my own time. So you got to choose those shows wisely, but it is wise to choose one or two. So that, you know, you can get your quality time in and you won't hear all the moaning and all the bitching all the time when you're on these games. Because we all have done it, guys. We've been on here, we've been doing our thing, and then we get that fucking look. We get, you know, comments, and I've heard things from, I'm gonna cut your cord while you sleep. I'm gonna do this and do that, and yeah, it's crazy, man. So to avoid all of that, you got to take a little bit of time out, put the controller down, put the anime down, you know, and even, you know, as opposed, you know, while we're on anime, while we're talking about that, you know, try to even inject some of that into the world, you know, into their world. They're missing a lot of dope shit. You know, a lot of girls don't watch anime, and I don't know what it is. It's just they may think it's just a cartoon or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. But if they were to sit down and literally watch some of this shit, I think that they would enjoy themselves. I really fucking do. So I'm trying to get her to watch a couple things, man. But I don't want to get her to watch anything like that, like necessarily new, something that I haven't seen, because then it would fuck up the scheduling. I'd want to see more. We wouldn't have time. So I'm trying to put her on Naruto right now because I've seen it. I know what happens. So if I miss episodes and she wants to catch up, she can do that, and no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? At the same time. So those are the type of things I recommend you guys doing if you have girlfriends who don't watch it, or if you're a woman and you have boyfriends who fucking don't watch it and you want them to kind of like try it and get into that world. I recommend that, doing that. And I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have yourself a hit. You might even have them, you know, falling into that world. Anyway, moving on to the next subject, guys. Where should I start? Okay, I want to start with this game. I want to start with a game that caught my attention. It's a Souls-like game. Right now, I'm currently playing Neo 2, which is, a Souls-like game. There's a lot of Souls-like games coming out of here now, and I love them. I really do. And it's just a dark RPG. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a dark, cynical kind of RPG game. That's what usually a lot of these games, come from. But anyway, it's another game that goes by the name of Mortal Shell, and it's supposed to be coming out for all platforms, thankfully, PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One. And it's supposed to come out, I'm not lying, it's supposed to come out third quarter 2020. Now, I highly recommend you guys going to YouTube and checking out the new trailer for this game, which lasts about 2 to 3 minutes, and tell me what you think. I would love to get some of you guys' comments, and I want to know what you guys think about this game, especially if you're into Souls-like games. It just looks awesome to me right now, man. Like the graphics, the design, the character design on some of these characters, man. The world, it's crazy. I literally, to me, it looked like a Dark Souls 4 or some shit like that. And the theme of the game is about shells. So you run around and you discover different shells of defeated warriors, and you can take on that shell. And with that shell comes with a set of moves or lists or techniques that you can spec into if you choose to go with that shell. And there's different shells, you can discover and all that, and you can swap them out, and you can, find one to your liking and move on from there. That's pretty much all I know about the game. They haven't said too much about it, but that's the basics of the game. They've been working on the game for a while. It's a small team, but who've come from major game development companies, so they know what they're doing, and it seems passionate. Anytime you got like small groups, a lot of the time working on games like this, that it's going to be a pretty good game. They're going to put a lot of heart and soul into it, and they're going to have a lot of freedom when creating something like this. When you have oodles and oodles of employees working for a big machine, you don't necessarily get that. I'm not saying it never happens, but a lot of the time you don't get that love. But you can tell by just looking at this that they put love into this fucking game. Dark love. And I cannot wait to see what this game is about. And if it comes out this year, man, that's an excellent release window for, waiting on that PlayStation 5, which I'll get to later because I've heard some stuff and I got some things to talk about with that. But yeah, man, if you guys don't know about this game, definitely check it out. Just Google Mortal Shell and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then I shouldn't have to say anything, but definitely check that out. Okay. Next on the list, let's talk about really the elephant in the motherfucking room. The elephant in the room, guys, is The Last of Us 2. One of my most anticipated games of 2020. And the problem that I'm having right now with this motherfucking news is the fact that this coronavirus is really doing a doozy on the gaming industry. It's affecting everything. I was naive. Maybe I was stupid for thinking that, my world, would be untouched. You know what I mean? That the coronavirus wouldn't touch it or wouldn't affect it. But man, I was living in a fantasy world, I guess, because, that's how shit is real. And I had an epiphany. I was just like, man, this is real. This shit is real. When games that are slated to come out on certain days, which had already been postponed once, kickback, and now we get another kickback, and now we don't even know when the game's coming out. Okay, they basically said it's delayed indefinitely, so there's no idea of when this game is going to come back out. They say that they're almost done with the game, as far as playing the game, being a playable product or whatever. And they say they're pretty much done for that, but they're worried more so about the logistics of the game. So, the shipping of the games and the manufacturing of the games, that's where the issues are gonna come up, because like all these warehouses and all these places, are shut down. People cannot go in and work. And, a lot of time we don't think about what, goes on behind the scene when it comes to just something as simple as shipping a motherfucking game out. We don't even think about that. And it's a lot that goes into that shit. And now, taking that for granted, I realize it's a very important piece to the puzzle when you're dealing with, video games, how they're given to us, how they're being put into our hands. They don't just appear one day in a fucking Walmart or a GameStop. It's a process to that shit. And this coronavirus thing is really affecting that. I felt blessed and lucky as hell to find a Luigi's Mansion 3 at a Walmart. I didn't think I was going to see it. I was scrolling through the games and I said, oh, fuck, it's not here. I don't think it's here. And it happened to be there. I just needed to take my time. And automatically in my mind, I was thinking, oh, shit, that goddamn coronavirus. And it is responsible for a lot of shit. Don't get it twisted. But I thought that it was going to be no Luigi's Mansion 3 for me and my son. But it was there, luckily. But as far as this Last of Us 2, guys, shit is concerned, that's another dagger in the heart of a gamer when you're talking about a game like this. And all you can do is wait. There's no power. There's nothing you can do. I can't even say the butter is out. Well, technically it is. The coronavirus is the fucking butter. If they had anything, if I had anything to say about the coronavirus, I'd say, shit. In a couple of weeks, man, they'll probably have their own butter sitting on these shelves. It'll be called the coronavirus butter. And they're using it. I mean, they're using it on everybody right now. There's a lot of people right now who are, draped, down with fucking coronavirus butter. And there's nothing they can do about it. Their garments are pulled down below their fucking ankles. And they're waking up dizzy and they don't know what happened. And it's already over. They're being fucked, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And I don't know what else to say about it. All I can say is, man, I can hope and pray that everybody stays inside and that this shit blows over within the next month or so, and we can getting back to being gamers and doing the shit that we love to do. I'm always in the house all the time anyway. I'm a homebody, but still, a lot of people are not. And for those people who, are not being able to enjoy their pastimes and the things that they like to enjoy, they're probably fucked up real bad right now. So it's affecting a lot of shit, guys. And if you're gamers, you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a gamer or an anime fan, and it has to fucking hurt. I thought I'd, talk about it. I know you guys probably already know about it. It's everywhere. This is probably one of the games that most of us who own a PlayStation will be buying. So you probably know about it. But I thought I'd, lay my 2 cents on the table and talk a little bit about it. Anyway, moving on from that, let's talk about another motherfucking game. Let's talk about Final Fantasy VII, guys. This is some crazy shit. And this also has to do with the coronavirus. One of my listeners actually posted on his page, his Instagram, the copy of Final Fantasy VII. Now, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, does not come out until April 10th, right? Everybody that I know, for the most part, is anticipating this release, okay? And this motherfucker, Windsor 2509, that's my boy. What's up? Shout out to my boy Windsor. He has it, okay? And I saw it on his page and I commented. I said, yo, how did you get that shit so early? And he said, basically, they released, the game early in some regions and he happened to get his shit a week early. So, yo, that's amazing. That lucky motherfucker. He's enjoying this shit right now, probably, man. I need to hit him up and ask him, yo, what are you doing? Where are you at right now in the game? But yeah, that's what's going on right now. So a lot of people are getting this game early, man. They're getting it early because of what's going on right now. And they didn't want to, basically they didn't want to fuck anybody over by putting it out, when it was supposed to, because a lot of people wouldn't get it on time who paid for it and who were basically promised to pay for it, promised to get it. So they were kind of like their hand was forced in a sense. And that kind of sucks, but it doesn't if you're somebody like Windsor because they have it now and they're playing it. So, they're in the house, perfect time, nothing to do. Hey, let's put in some Final Fantasy VII Remake and let's get busy. So I thought I'd add that, guys. Man, a lot of shit just going on out here. Just a lot of shit moving and shaking. Games coming out early, games being postponed. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of strange things happening out here in these digital streets. Anyway, let's move on. The next thing I want to talk about is another one of my favorite video game companies, guys, and they go by CD Projekt Red. Now, we all know, well, most of us know that this game was slated for September. Okay. And supposedly it's still going to be the case. Now, what they've done is put out some press talking about the state that they're in currently with this coronavirus bullshit happening. And what they decided to do was get ahead of the situation and basically have their employees working from home, which a lot of developers aren't able to do for whatever reason or just choose not to do so. But the good thing is that they're on that boat. They're making that happen. That way, the process of this game being released won't be halted and everything can still come out when it's supposed to come out. Now, the only problem, that could potentially come up is there could be issues that arise closer and closer to the release date, just for the simple fact of how the coronavirus is acting, where we are at that point. Anything could happen. But right now, as it stands, they're letting us know that it's slated to come out in September when it's supposed to. They're not going to postpone it, and that's what we're hearing right now. Now, I hope that all comes to fruition. I hope nothing changes that shit, because I definitely want to play this game on that date. I don't want to see this shit come out any later than that. And I hope all that is going to happen. But like I said before, we don't know when it comes to distribution, when it comes to shipping and all of those things, who they use. And the same reason that, The Last of Us is talking about, the logistics part of it, that could end up halting the game coming out, when it's supposed to, or, there could be just delays. If people pre-ordered the game and they want it, to get it, they're expecting Amazon or whoever to ship the game. It won't be doing that. There could be a lot of fumbles out here in these digital streets, because right now, if you go to Amazon, you try to order shit, man, you can order usually something there and you'll get it the next day, depending on what it is. But man, it's not happening right now. They're not operating like that. Shit is in disarray. It's crazy. And you might not get your shit for 2 weeks. So just be ready to deal with that. If you guys are ordering things online, and that's just the way it is. Everybody's probably ordering online a lot more, and that has a lot to do with it and just the current situation we're in. So I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope for the best and hope it comes out when it's supposed to. And I'm glad that they actually have their employees still working, even if it's from home. Because, you hate to see people lose their jobs and, get their hours cut or whatever, man, because it's hard. It's already hard enough out here in life. And then to lose your income and all of that, which a lot of people already have done, it's just adding insult to injury. Anyway, let's get back down to PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5, yes. Talked a little bit about it earlier. Everybody's wondering, hey, what's going to happen with PlayStation 5? Is it going to get postponed? This coronavirus is making everything else crazy. What's going to happen? And everybody's assuming that, well, even me, I assume that, we're probably not getting this shit until 2021. I mean, the press is talking about it. Everybody in the gaming industry is talking about it. But hold on a second. All right. I think that we're going to get it. I'm going to pray and I'm going to hope that we get this when it's supposed to come out, which is holiday season 2020. And I only say that because recent news just came up and there's, some shit on the PlayStation 5 website, and they're basically doubling down on that fucking holiday 2020 release. They're basically saying, look, this shit is coming out 2020. Okay, we got to set up to do that. And that's when it's going to happen. This coronavirus is not going to hinder that situation. Now, I'll say again, maybe it won't. But when it comes to shipping and getting the logistics side of things straight, this might be an issue. This might be a problem. They can't control, if their distributor cannot ship it when they need it to be shipped because of what's going on out here. But all I can do is have my fingers crossed, especially for this, because, the PS5 is like, I've been waiting on this, man. I know a lot of us have been. So all I can do is say, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Let's check it out. Let's find out what happens, and let's go from there. And I'll leave it at that. I'll put my money on the table and walk away on that one. Now, let's talk some anime. Let's talk a little bit about some anime, guys. I haven't had a lot of time to get back to anime, watch a lot. I'm still looking at Bleach. I'm enjoying myself. I talked about that a little bit. And right now there's a new one out called Tower of God. Okay. It's on Crunchyroll currently right now. I think Crunchyroll is the only place that has it. VRV doesn't have it. I think VR, if they do, you have to, you basically have to pay for the subscription. You can't watch this one with commercials. You can't, none of that. They're really, got a tight grip on this one. But what I've seen, I saw the first episode. Guess where I saw it? YouTube. Because I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna pay for a subscription for one show once a week. That's just not what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna find another way, and most people do find other ways to watch this. And I've heard nothing but great things about this anime. Okay, really about the manga, because that's where it started. And of course, the manga is a little bit, from what I'm hearing, it's a lot deeper. There's a lot more that goes into it. And the anime is kind of, cutting some of it out. But for people who have never read the manga, it's not going to bother them. At least it's not going to bother me, because I've never read the manga. So I'm just looking at the anime. I'm anime over manga all day. And that's just how I consume my stuff. Some people are the opposite, and that's okay too. But Tower of God, from what I've seen on the first episode, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. The graphics, or the art style, shall I say, it takes a page out of the 90s, out of that 90s style anime, which is cool. I don't have a problem with it. I like what I've seen so far. And do I recommend this anime? Yes, I do. Get it how you live. Get it how you need to watch it. I don't care if you have Crunchyroll, cool. Watch it. If you stream it or however you want to watch it, but definitely this is one to watch for. This is one I've been looking forward to. I enjoyed myself watching the first episode. I look forward to episode number 2 and beyond. But when we're talking about anime right now, since we're on that fucking bus right now, the anime bus, here's some news, guys, that I am so excited about. I am so excited about, and I'll leave it with this. I'll send you guys off with this announcement. One of my sleeper hits. This is one of my favorite anime. Technically it came out in 2018, season 1, but I didn't watch it until late 2019. And that is High Score Girl. Now, High Score Girl season 2 has been announced. Now, if you guys have been listening to me, in the past, you heard me talk about this fucking anime, how dope this anime was, how it came out of fucking left field and kicked me in the fucking mouth, man. And it's not usually my type of anime, but I can't explain, how much love I have for this anime. The anime is just fucking awesome. It's on Netflix. If you guys have not checked out High Score Girl, my new listeners, check this fucking anime out. You will not fucking be disappointed, especially if you're into like games and shit, because and even more so if you're a retro gamer. Okay, if you came up in the 90s, with video games. If you came up in the fucking 90s with fucking games and arcades and shit, this is right up your fucking alley. This is right in your fucking wheelhouse, man. And I promise you, I bet my fucking life that you will fucking love this anime. And I was waiting so long for season 2 because they kept saying that season 2 was right around the corner, because I was like, oh cool, I just finished season 1, so I was ready. And nothing came out. I couldn't find any news. I think they released it in Japan, earlier, but I couldn't find it here. And then out of fucking nowhere, they come out with, oh, it's coming out. And guess when it's coming? April 9th. So it's right around the corner, guys. So the next podcast you guys listen to, I'll probably have watched it all, because I'm going to binge watch this. I'm not going to even lie to you guys. I'm going to set aside some time. I'm going to get some snacks and I'm going to watch this motherfucking anime. I even watched season 1 again before season 2 begins, just cause. But it's an awesome anime. It's one of my favorite anime, one of my favorite sleeper animes, man. One of my favorite Netflix animes as well. And Netflix has some awesome anime. They really do right now. You got Castlevania, you got Kengan Ashura. You got some hard hitters out there. And that's not all. They got more. But, Baki, stuff like that. So this one here, though, is a keeper. It's a fucking 5-star anime, in my opinion, guys. And you should definitely check it out if you're into anime, for sure. But it's finally coming April 9th. Go watch that shit. Go watch season 1, then go watch season 2, or just fucking watch season 1. Season 2, I don't give a damn. Just watch it. Okay. I highly recommend this one. And I don't do that often. On this note, I don't keep anime, up there with like Naruto and all those. And it's not that type of anime. That's the crazy part about it. It's, it doesn't have that type of action. It's, I want to say slice of life kind of, but with a video game theme, I guess you can call it that. Make your own interpretation though. Watch the show. Just watch it. But that, guys, with that being said, I'm going to get my ass up out of here. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank all the newcomers. If you're new to the podcast, man, thank you for streaming this. Thank you for downloading it. Whether you're listening to it in your house, which you probably are or driving to work or laying in bed, whatever the fuck you're doing. I appreciate your ear, and I hope to see you again. I hope to see you again next Monday and the Monday after that. Or shit, some people might listen to it on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. Whenever you listen to it, man, I just want to say I appreciate it. And to all the listeners who've been down from day fucking one, I love you guys dearly. And man, couldn't do it without you guys. Everything that I do here, when you guys chime in, when you guys, send me messages, when I hear from you guys, it makes my fucking day. And I just hope everybody out there is doing okay and, trying to get through this hard time right now that everybody seems to be dealing with. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys. I love you guys. This is Studio McGyver, and you have been listening to Studio McGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.